The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina sometimes deals with disturbing and problematic topics. We've provided a list of content warnings in the episode description. Hello and welcome to Dead Ends. I'm Emily.
I'm Brenton.
And we have a new episode of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina for you.
A crossover. Hey, what everybody was probably waiting, at least millennials were waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Very millennial focused episode. You know, this one's for us.
But they did not get crossover Sabrina.
No, they didn't.
I thought it'd been fun if that was a Sabrina under the bed.
Oh, instead of Elsbeth?
Yeah.
I wonder why Melissa Joan Hart wasn't in it.
I don't know. Maybe they couldn't get her.
Yeah, maybe. But because I saw that, maybe just schedule and stuff. I don't know what work she was doing at the time. Because I had seen when I was looking up stuff in the background that these two and Melissa Joan Hart had done like a reaction video or something when the first episode of Chilling Adventures came out.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. So, but well, can we just jump into the background on this of what in the hell is Sabrina the Teenage Witch and who are these people?
I watched a lot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So much so that my cat was named Salem Saberhagen. Now, my cat, Salem, one was a girl. My father left when I was 10. This is important to my lore. And when my father left, he was having an affair with he played the piano at the church. He was having an affair with the choir director. It was a whole thing. Anyway, small town too. So this is big drama. But everyone felt really bad for us. So my brother and I kind of like people, I don't know, our family, everyone felt really bad for us. We were also like some of the youngest. So like we were spoiled in that way, in love. So we had pet birds, and my grandmother had this cat, the stray cat that she had brought in named Mama Cat, obviously. And Mama Cat, ironically, my uncle was like, that's a male cat. And I was like, I was 10, right? And I'm like, that cat's pregnant. I'm pretty, like, I didn't know. I mean, I'd had cat, like my granny had always had a cat or two, you know, but I hadn't known any pregnant cats. But I was like, cat's pregnant. And my grandma was like, yeah, the cat's pregnant.
I don't know what your uncle's talking about.
Your uncle's crazy. So anyway, this cat at my grandma's house had kittens, and she had 2 black kittens, 1 boy and 1 girl. And so my brother and I were like, can we keep the kittens? And my mom was like, okay. And we gave a family friend had a bunch of birds that were like our birds. So they took our birds because my mom was like, we already had 2 dogs. She's like, I'm not having 2 cats, 2 dogs, and 2 birds because that's Noah's Ark. Yeah. And I've got 2 children by myself. Like that's
really is 2 of everything.
We were playing Noah's Ark in our house. So a family friend who raised birds wanted our birds. She'd asked about them before too. So we gave her our birds, and in exchange we got these 2 black kittens. And the girl was mine and the boy was my brother's. So I named my kitten Salem after Salem Saberhagen. Which I know she's a girl, but it doesn't matter. Gender is a construct. And my brother named his kitten Speedy because he was the faster kitten. And if you knew my brother, that name would make sense. Salem did not like me. Salem didn't really like anybody except for my brother.
Oh, yeah.
Salem was obsessed with my brother. My brother carried that kitten around. He carried her around as a cat. He petted her constantly. Like, think like supervillain carrying their pet around, petting them. That's my brother walking around the house, talking to himself and talking to the cat. Like, they were having a great time. And I was like, cool, I'm just not part of this. And then our male cat, Speedy, he kind of was like he liked everybody in the end, but he really liked my mom at first. So I, child who begged the hardest for kittens, was left with no cat for a little bit.
Yeah.
I found a cat at a park. It's fine. I brought home another one.
And that one loved you.
He did, but
more than anybody else. Not that the other ones didn't love you. They just
I don't know if Crookie loved me more than anyone else, but he loved me. And that was enough.
But Salem really was attached to your brother.
And Salem and Speedy lived so long. They lived to be 20, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, yeah, it hits my little feels. I named my cat after Salem Saberhagen.
So I got to know them both from a distance because I'm allergic.
I was allergic too, but we didn't discuss that as a
besides the
family.
Well, Salem Saberhagen, you keep mentioning it. So Sabrina the Teenage Witch, for those who may not know, was a sitcom series in the 90s, which what many people thought like this show was going to be because nobody knew what Chilling Adventures of Sabrina was. Because Sabrina the Teenage Witch is more closely modeled off of the Archie comic that started way back in the day, which is much more similar to Archie comics, but about a teenager who's a witch, who finds out she's a witch. And then this Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, this is just recap of what we talked about at the very beginning of this series, was a more horror spin that Roberto had written and then now adapted into live action here. So Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like I said, premiered September 1996 on ABC's TGIF lineup. This was the family-friendly sitcom lineup, which at one point had Family Matters and Full House.
Ooh.
But during this time was also Boy Meets World. I don't really know any of the rest of these.
They do a crossover, don't they?
Not that I saw, but maybe there is.
Britney Spears is on an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember what other crossover. Was NSYNC on it too? Was Backstreet Boys? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But they had a lot of I feel like good 90s crossovers on this show.
Yes. We'll get to one of those in a sec. So this was a sitcom. So Melissa Joan Hart was Sabrina. They live in Greendale. On her 16th birthday, she learned she has magical powers. And so instead of always knowing that she was a witch, like in this show and in the Archie comics, and lives with her 600-year-old aunt, which is Hilda. And we'll get to both of these actors in a sec, and Zelda. And then Salem Saberhagen was the talking cat. Kind of looked like the animatronic that they have in this episode.
But Salem Saberhagen is not just a cat in the Sabrina the Teenage Witch show.
Oh, yes. He was transformed into a cat.
Correct. He was like a warlock or something that got transformed, or is a gremlin. I can't remember. Transformed into a cat.
Yeah, I think warlock. I think you're right. So it ran for 7 seasons, 163 episodes, and 3 television films. First 4 seasons were on ABC, and then final 3 were on WB.
I didn't know there were television films.
Yeah, would you like to get to this?
I would love to.
So the first one actually preceded the TV series.
With the same cast or no?
No.
Okay.
Except for 2 people. So it premiered on Showtime on April 7th, 1996.
Okay.
And Melissa Joan Hart was still Sabrina. But was called Sabrina Sawyer.
Okay.
Sabrina Sawyer, everybody. And then her best friend, Marnie, was played by Michelle Boudouin. And then renamed Jenny for the television show.
Same actress though, or no?
Same actress. Those are the only 2 that remain the same.
Interesting.
And then in 1998, Sabrina Goes to Rome.
Yes.
Out.
Oh, I do remember this. I'm just kidding.
You're like, hold on.
That's a movie?
And then the last television film was Sabrina Down Under.
Oh.
This was not included on the season 7 DVD release, but is now was released on a standalone DVD, but is available to stream on Hulu. So the crossover that I did see on Wikipedia was for the Clueless TV series. So
wow.
Sabrina was on the Clueless TV series, not like the other way around.
Yeah.
Which was I didn't realize that the Clueless TV series ran for 3 seasons.
I didn't know that either.
Which is wild. And I do know that Alicia Silverstone was not in it because she had a development deal with Columbia TriStar at the time. So that's all the background on the show. So let's get into our cast. So we'll be talking about our 2 aunties.
Sorry. So she was on an episode of Boy Meets World.
Okay.
The Witches of Pembroke. And Salem appears on a Boy Meets World episode.
That's really funny.
No Guts, no Corey. She's on an episode. Oh, no. Keenan and Kel appear in an episode. See, I was like, hold on. There's a whole bunch of fun crossovers. Can I read these?
Yeah, go for it.
So, let's see here. There's like Donkey Kong interviews Salem. We're not gonna
Donkey Kong?
This is 1996 for Donkey Kong Planet. 1996. I don't
know what Donkey Kong Planet is.
Sabrina appears in the Clueless episode Mr. Right Meets World. Sabrina appears in Boy Meets World. Teen Angel. I don't know that show. You Wish. Keenan and Kel, they appear in a Sabrina the Teenage Witch episode called Sabrina's Choice. Josie and the Pussycats are in an episode.
Oh, fun.
Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm wondering if this is like the
cartoon.
Yeah, or like because
they had a couple cartoons, I think, in the 90s.
Scooby-Doo.
That makes sense.
Yeah, she interacts with Scooby and Shaggy after being transported into a computer.
That's really funny.
2002 was a great time.
Uh-huh.
Happy Days. Hellboy. I don't know that one. Oh, wait. This seems like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Yeah, now that one's crossed over.
Into comics, I assume?
No. It's 2015, so yeah?
Yeah, because I don't think there was a Hellboy TV series.
She's mentioned in New Girl. Yeah, I was like, there's some fun little tie-ins there. Those are just some links to other series.
Mm-hmm. They're like, hey, why don't you come on over?
Include like the guest stars.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Like there were so many good guest stars on that show. Because it was, I think similar. I don't know if Boy Meets World had as many guest stars, but I feel like it was like a big thing. Here's a Screen Rant article. 10 famous guest stars you forgot were on the show.
Oh.
Raquel Welch.
Oh, I bet if I saw her, I'd know her. What was she in?
Fantastic Voyage.
Oh, okay.
She was in The Three Musketeers.
Okay, so older movies I've not seen. She
plays one of Sabrina's aunts, Aunt Vesta.
Oh, fun.
Penn and Teller.
Solid.
Yeah. They became hit guest stars on the show.
I mean, they make sense, but you're bringing in magicians.
Simon Helberg?
Oh,
from The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah. He's done other stuff too. But yeah.
Bryan Cranston?
Yeah, hey, there you go. So that makes, these are also probably people that were not famous at the time that were like brought in for an episode.
I don't know. You don't think he was already known?
Bryan Cranston? No.
I guess before Malcolm in the Middle, he wasn't that big.
This is also when he was like on Seinfeld.
Yeah. Paula Abdul.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, there's some good ones. Usher. These are the ones I was looking for. Coolio.
Oh, and Coolio, that totally makes sense because he also did the theme song to Keenan and Kel.
Oh. There was Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Oh, on the same, yeah, that also really lines up.
Yes. Britney Spears, which is always one of my favorites, and RuPaul.
RuPaul?
Yeah, that's the one I was like, I'm pretty sure RuPaul was on there.
Oh, wild. I always forget how long RuPaul has been famous.
RuPaul is called in to fix Sabrina's hair in an episode.
Solid.
Yeah. And then like RuPaul turns into a witch judge. It's like a whole thing. I was like, hold on.
Oh, witch judge?
Okay, I'll just read it. American top famous drag queen, singer, model, and television personality RuPaul did once appear on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. The host and creator of the hit show, RuPaul's Drag Race, played the role of a witch judge and a hairdresser. Decked out in her drag persona, RuPaul is called in to help fix Sabrina's hair. As the scene progresses, Sabrina spills the beans that she used a spell to try to get Hilda and Zelda back together so they can all be a family again. Hilda and Zelda then admit they played Sabrina in order to teach her a valuable lesson. She doesn't believe them, seeing as she was called to the Witches' Council. RuPaul changes looks and turns into a witch judge.
I love it.
The show was crazy.
Yeah.
The show was wild.
This is a sitcom in the 90s.
And I'm pretty sure at the end, she like runs away from her wedding to go be with Harvey, who like rides up on a motorcycle. I feel like that's how it ends.
Yeah, because Harvey is the main love interest.
Yeah, and I think that's how it ends. There's no Nick Scratch, I don't think. You know?
Mm-hmm.
There's things that were changed. There's no devil stuff either, I feel like. It's not horror-y.
No,
at all.
Yeah.
But it was a time. Mm-hmm. It was very 90s.
Oh, yeah.
When I think of the 90s, like that and like Full House are kind of like cornerstones. And then like Xena Warrior Princess.
That also on a different track, but yes, absolutely.
And a little scarier.
Yeah.
But I didn't have Buffy. No one had shown me Buffy.
Mm-mm.
Though Buffy would have scared the shit out of me at that age.
Yeah, I would have been. Well, it depends on the episode.
In the 90s?
Mhm.
Well, wait, Buffy starts into the 90s. 98?
I think like
98, 99?
yeah, let me double check.
So I'm like, okay, by like 5 or 6, 7,
Yeah, 97
Oh. Yeah, I don't think
on the cusp.
I don't think I should have been watching Buffy at 4.
Yeah, probably not.
Imagine that would have made me a weird kid. Not like I needed any help with that.
You're watching the TGIF lineup instead.
I was watching the Home Shopping Network because I found one of the men's voice on there very soothing. And when my mom couldn't get me to nap, she'd put on the Home Shopping Network. She's like, I bought something from them once just as like a thank you. Because
It's like the tip jar.
she's like, I used to turn it on and you wouldn't sleep.
It's so funny.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're all good. All right. So our sitcom aunties. So Zelda is played by Beth Broderick. So also in Lost for 3 seasons. There's a recurring character, Diane Jansen. Was also Rose Twitchell in the Stephen King television adaptation for Under the Dome. And has been in a few other things. But we, as in Emily and I, saw her most recently in the Sharp Objects adaptation.
I'm going to need a refresher.
I don't remember who specifically she was. I don't remember.
What was
character.
Sharp Objects?
That is the Gillian Flynn adaptation with Amy Adams.
Is this a movie or a show?
Show.
Was this the one with the creepy little girls and the teeth?
Yes.
Yeah, that was bad.
It's.
I mean, bad as in like not for me. Not bad as in like necessary. I could not judge it because I was horrified. I think about the end of that show a lot. Like it creeped me out real bad.
It's real creepy.
It's real creepy.
Yeah.
And they also are like being Munchausen by proxy, right? Yeah. Spoilers, but I mean it's old.
You kind of get that that's at least happening. Yeah. What a show.
Why'd you bring it up?
Because she was in it. And then Hilda is played by Caroline Rhea. So also in Phineas and Ferb has Linda Flynn Fletcher all the way through the entire series. But is most notably a stand-up comedian. So that's how she came up and performed, like as they put here, is like performed along comedians, like at the same time as Chris Rock, Dave Attell, Mark Maron, Jim Gaffigan, and Louis C.K. Has 3 one-hour stand-up specials with HBO, Showtime, and Bravo. And then was a regular on Hollywood Squares with her friend Whoopi.
I fucking love Hollywood Squares. Have we've talked about this on the podcast, I feel like.
I think so, yeah.
I would love, do you think there's a way I can stream old Hollywood Squares?
Yeah, there's got to be.
As a kid.
There's probably a random channel on Roku.
Like, I haven't, no, I would know. I've looked through all the game show channels on Roku. The other day I was scrolling through the Roku, just like looking at all the channels. It's like, it's a gold mine. It's a gold mine. Personally, I like the 24/7 Dick Van Dyke channel.
Yeah.
It makes me feel safe in a way I can't explain. I like the Murder, She Wrote channel, but I do get a little spooked sometimes. Some of the Murder, She Wrotes are a little scary. But I'm like doing an ad for Roku.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you, Roku, for sponsoring this episode.
I wish. Imagine.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm just gonna start like really like going hard for like Roku TV.
That's right. They have so many channels, people. You don't know.
I'm watching Martha Stewart on there. Do love Martha Stewart. Anyway, yeah, I loved Hollywood Squares. I would love to watch Hollywood Squares. That'd be a perfect like you wake up in the middle of the night and you're scared show. Like you know what I mean? You know how sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep. Like so now I turn to like YouTube for the most part if I like get that freaked out. But Hollywood Squares would be it.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happens on Hollywood Squares. I guess I don't really remember. I was a child, so God knows it could be filled with misogyny.
Okay, yes.
There's a Who's Line channel.
Yeah. Speaking of filled with misogyny.
God, it's so bad because I loved Who's Line as a child, and then now when I watch it, it's like every couple episodes.
Yeah. It's like we're really tilting towards something here.
And then sometimes they're totally fine.
Yes. Yeah, and so also hosted the reality show Biggest Loser for the first 3 seasons.
Did you watch that?
A little bit.
I did too.
And then
There was another one too. What was the other one? There was like Biggest Loser. There was like 2 like weight loss reality shows, I feel like, at the same time.
I don't know the other one.
I feel like we watched one season and then we said, this is sad.
But she's also on modern like game show things. Like was on the Match Game reboot a few times, and that came up. And yeah, other kind of panel shows. But yeah, still doing it, and I believe still doing comedy.
I love that
Still
for
touring. And then I don't have a slide for them because we already know them so well. But you might notice that the voice of Salem Saberhagen is Luke Cook, aka Lucifer himself. All right, should we get into this episode then?
We should.
All right, Chapter 35, The Endless. We get a random recap at the start of the episode for the season. I thought this would be more aligned to like the oh, we're going into a sitcom thing here, but it really wasn't. So.
No, you know what it was telling us is what eldritch terrors we faced. That was the purpose of it.
Yeah, but then they do that again. Sabrina literally sits down in a scene and goes,
Netflix second screen.
I know, but like, doesn't make it enjoyable.
No, it's trash.
All right. So we open on Sabrina Morningstar emerging from the mirror into the other universe. Her aunts, played by the actors from the sitcom, are there. What I will call the sitcom aunties through the rest of these. And then the original aunties is how I'll refer to the chilling adventures of Sabrina's regular ones, played by Lucy Davis and Miranda Otto. All right. And there's a laugh track and everything, and they call cut. We find out that this is all a TV set and that Blackwood is the director. Sabrina is confused, and he warns Sabrina to catch on quickly or else. Apparently, they live and work on the set and all eat canned tuna for dinner and drink milk. There's no Ambrose in this universe, supposedly. Zelda advises Sabrina to always show up prepared for work, and then Hilda says they're the stars of a hit TV show. They warn her if she doesn't show up knowing her line, she gets a strike, and 3 strikes get you sent to the green room like the last Sabrina. So Morningstar tells them how and why she's there in their universe, and she also finds that she has no magic. Sabrina goes to take a walk before bed, and the aunts warn her that the stages get confusing and scary. Sabrina walks around the empty TV set and heads for the exit. She opens the door to find a brick wall. She goes to the emergency exit, but it warns of electric shock, so she doesn't try that, and then goes to another door that has a red light above it that says, don't use this door if the light is on, so she walks away from that. This reminds me, if other people have played Alan Wake 2, there's lots of like knowing nods of like, hey, you're on a TV show, but it's kind of like out of place in time and feels like very dreamlike. It's like very similar to this of like, you'd walk up to a door and it's like, don't use if red light's on. So you're like, what the hell is this door? She gets the idea that Ambrose's research books might be in the house. She goes to the library and finds they're all just prop books, so they're all empty.
But Ambrose's room is there.
Yes.
Which is like telling us something.
Mm-hmm. She decides to go to sleep and finds a mark taped on her bedroom floor outside the mirror. The next morning, she's woken up by Melvin, who's like the production assistant, or I don't know. He's running essentially production, and tells her that she's needed on set, and she finds that her mirror is gone. Sabrina arrives on set, and Miss Wardwell checks if she's memorized her lines, and Sabrina finds her original aunts and Elsbeth dressed as her off to the side. Her original aunts dressed as they are, and then Elsbeth is dressed like her. Apparently, they're the stand-ins, and Sabrina steps onto set dressed as a cockroach, and as Faustus says, think Kafka, which I thought was a great line. The scene starts, and Sabrina's surprised by Salem speaking because it kind of just looks like a stuffed cat. She gets 1 strike because she goes off script, and Wardwell tells her that Salem is the star of the show. In between scenes, Sabrina finds that the calendar on her wall has reverted back to the previous day, because each day what she does is she marks the day off to end it, but then the next day she wakes up and the mark on that day is gone. Sabrina tries to figure out what eldritch terror this is when Salem appears on her bed. He asks if she has everything she needs as a new star, and Sabrina asks for her mirror back, and he's like, no problem. She asks if he knows about the eldritch terrors, and he's like, I don't know, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. We get a scene at the high school with her mortal friends, played by her regular mortal friends. Sabrina and Harvey kiss, and Sabrina pulls back because he gave her tongue, and she gets one more strike for this. And we find out that they're dating. We also find out that Nick is Harvey's stand-in, and he's kind of skulking off to the back. After the scene, Harvey says, "That was great, just like old times," and asks for Sabrina to come over later, which I find great because obviously he's been dating multiple different casts of Sabrina. Hilda visits Sabrina in her room to check on her. Sabrina tells her about being married to Caliban. Hilda thinks she was just talking about a previous show and tells Sabrina this current show is the longest one running ever. And that Sabrina has to accept that this is her only life now and encourages Sabrina to go to Harvey's. Sabrina also has a fun poster on the wall, Return to Salem's Lot. Little sequel to the Stephen King book. Harvey and Sabrina have dinner, and Harvey says soon enough she'll fit in. Sabrina sees Harvey's drawings of the Eldritch Terror all over the wall, and he's like, "Yeah, they're pretty cool. I had the art department draw them and put them up." I don't know what they mean, though. And then Harvey asks if she wants to run lines because he sneaks into Wardwell's office to get the scripts early because it takes him a little longer to memorize lines. They run lines at Sabrina's house, and she realizes it was a conversation they had in season 1 of this show. Sabrina asks for copies of the episodes and so she could watch, and Harvey pulls up the pilot, and it's a recording of the literal first episode of the series, and Sabrina's freaked out that her real life was recorded. This is so funny because I keep drawing parallels. This is also Alan Wake. He's a writer that is writing things, and then it happens in real life.
The language of this episode is really good, too, because they're like, oh, it's a reshoot. Oh, like they use all of the, like, stage and set specific language to talk about it, and I just think it's really fun.
Yeah, and in a way, it's trashing the sitcom a little bit. Of like, this is your life now. You're devoted to this, and it's endless. There's nothing that's happened. This is the longest thing ever, so you might as well go along to get along.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at 163 episodes over the season, it really is like their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I? Okay. Sabrina walks through the sets and goes to the door with the red light. She finds another set bathed in green light beyond it and realizes it's the green room. She goes inside to find it looks like the morgue from the original universe. She goes and finds Ambrose working there. He realizes she's the new Sabrina, and he's chopping up bodies to make cat food for the Eldritch Terror. We've learned that the Endless is the Eldritch Terror here, as why it keeps going back to the same day over and over, and that it's that the Eldritch Terror is Salem. Ambrose had figured it out and confronted him, and then was banished to the green room. And the soundstage is the Endless's whole universe, and the TV show is to keep him from being bored, and is just playing with them all. Sabrina comes home and finds a mirror in her room, a different mirror though, with a note from Salem welcoming her. The next day, Sabrina has a scene with Roz, where Roz tells Sabrina she's going blind. Prudence and Agatha play the cheerleaders who come into the bathroom and bully Roz. They cut, and Sabrina asks where Salem is, and Faustus says Salem only shoots once a week. We learn that the writers wrote that Roz is going blind, so that makes her... So she is in fact going blind in the real life. She sees the bright side as that she has an arc now and won't be going to the green room. At the academy, there's craft services all set up. Sabrina sees her original aunts and wants them to not eat the tuna because we know that tuna is people.
It makes me think of
Soylent Green. Soylent Green is people.
What's the District 13 or whatever movie where they are all eating tuna or cat food or whatever?
Oh, District 9.
District 9.
Like, I don't remember that in Hunger Games.
No, I was just trying to remember the name of a movie I really didn't like.
I would have been a whole lot more sympathetic to Julianne Moore being the evil person. It's like, she's making them eat people. We find out that the original aunts used to play the aunts, but were demoted to stand-ins because of higher-ups, quote-unquote. Sabrina asks if they realize they're trapped and they don't understand. Sabrina asks where they sleep, and we find out the stand-ins sleep under the beds. This is maybe, like, the best detail of this entire episode.
It's so funny.
They force the stand-ins to literally mirror everything they do, right down to sleeping under their beds. As she goes to sleep, Sabrina decides to look under her bed and finds Elsbeth there dressed as her. Sabrina's woken up by banging noises on set and finds Caliban working with other people building sets. He's like, I used to be part of the cast, but I prefer the crew now because like I don't have to be told like when to take off my shirt and be objectified on stage. And Sabrina tells him about being together. So then Caliban then goes and takes off his shirt, which I find is a little bit, we can talk about this later, of like, okay, you can't poke fun at your own show and then do the thing. And then talks about the crew is building a void and it'll be done in the morning.
The point of it was that it was ironic.
I know, but like I feel like the wider context of this, of like objectification, it reads weird to me.
Well, because he says, "Oh, I don't mind," or what. Like I think they're playing with it. I agree,
that's
but like
that's what I'm saying. I don't of like other cast members and what we know of like the cast members on Riverdale and like objectification and like different. Eating disorders. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I think also like a Taylor Lautner situation. It's different.
Yes, 100%.
I would be intrigued too. I guess it's like what is Sam? Is that his name? Actor? What is he?
Sam something. Yeah.
Yeah. How did he feel about these types of things? And what's the?
Yeah, it correlate. Yeah, I think it just reads weird to me. Sabrina wakes Harvey up because it's the middle of the night and asks for his help getting tomorrow's script pages. They sneak into Wardwell's house while Nick watches them from afar. They find Wardwell sleeping on the couch and Sabrina's like, why isn't she in her bedroom? And Harvey's like, it was never built. And Sabrina steals a folder labeled Top Secret. Sabrina gathers her friends, including Nick, Prudence, and Agatha, and both sets of aunts, and warns them that the void will end all things tomorrow and they need to leave through the mirror. The sitcom aunts say this is just what the writers do to get people excited about the next season. There's going to be some big tornado or something. That, someone might potentially die, but, it all gets fixed in the next season and everything remains the same. We're going through contract negotiations, Sabrina, and then if that person renews, then hey, they're back on the episode on next season. Sabrina says, "Aren't you new though? How do you know about what the show has done in the past?" And the sitcom aunties say they've been on lots of shows, but don't get into specifics and tell everyone to do their job and leave. The original aunts tell Sabrina that if she's right to take them with her through the mirror. Sabrina wakes up to find her calendar only has one more day on it. Nick is playing Harvey. Apparently, the other Harvey got sent to the green room, and Nick insists that he is Harvey now. Sabrina asks questions about the script and the void to Faustus, and Faustus is like, the only person who can authorize the script changes is the head writer. And Sabrina asks where to find the head writer, and everybody's like looking around, like, I don't know, not answering her. And then the original Hilda says he can be found in the high school today. So Sabrina goes running off. She finds a writer's room with Salem at the front because he is in fact the head writer. She warns him that the void is much worse than is written in the script and that the void will devour the endless. And he's like, no. The endless and the void are like opposites. We work together. The void will devour everything, but I will continue to live on. And Sabrina reads from the script that there's nothing happening after the void arrives. So what happens next, Salem? And then Salem and Sabrina get called to set. The family has a scene and Sabrina says the wrong line and insists that she has to go get candles to prepare for the storm instead of closing the blinds. And the sitcom aunties tell Salem to get her back on script, and Salem backs Sabrina up that she should go get the candles. We find out that everyone working there behind the cameras and everything and the aunties are servants of the void. Sabrina takes Salem, who guides her, and they run away from all the void servants. We see the real faces of the sitcom aunties who look like Buffy the Vampire Slayer vampires, which is what I say exactly. Which when I say that it's not like a full-on mask or anything. It's like prosthetics on top of their face to make them seem more monstrous. Salem changes the script suddenly so they can get away. So it'll be like Zelda twists her ankle, so then her ankle twists and she falls to the ground because the Endless controls this universe. They arrive at the high school to find Prudence and Agatha killed the mortals. Salem has them turn on each other so they can escape. They arrive at the green room to find Nick killed Harvey, Ambrose, and Caliban. And he's like, I am Harvey. And then Salem has him slip on a banana peel, which is pretty good, so they can escape. They arrive at the academy office and find the sitcom aunties devouring the other aunties. And so they run through the set as the sitcom aunties chase them, and the set is falling apart, people getting sucked into the void. And Salem guides her to the mirror. So she came in through, and they jump through the mirror. But we get a to be continued title card. The end.
Okay, so one of the things I thought was interesting is Sabrina is on the set for her first scene, is put in a cockroach costume. And Faustus goes, think Kafka. So I was like, let me think about Metamorphosis, because I've read most of it. All of it? I've read all of it at least once, but I'd read a lot. I feel like the first part is like the part people love to read and like
where he gets turned into a bug.
Yeah, like where it starts. Like I read it once. One of the things about being in a sorority when I was in college, the college I went to and the sorority I was in, was that, no, I think it was all of Panhellenic. You were required, I made an earthquake, sorry. You were required to do community service hours. And so you could do like beach cleanups or whatever. And one of the ways you could do community service hours was by going to Friendship Manor, which was the retirement home in Isla Vista. And I think it's still there. And you could go to a book club with, and you read like a short story. Like it wasn't like anyone had to read like a big book with the people at Friendship Manor. I should have done this for every community service hour. It was the most fun community service hours I ever did, because I read Kafka's Metamorphosis with a bunch of like World War II, I'm assuming, veterans. And it was such an interesting, because it's such a story that has like been, people have done very different interpretations and reads on it. And then you also, like, when you present it to a bunch of people who may or may not, some of them have already read it, you know, it's been around. It's not like it's a new story, but also who then take their own life experience and apply it to it. And like the idea of like feeling like some sort of like vermin or cockroach, and like the characterization of like, are you supposed to humanize? Oh God, what's the character's name? Gregor? I think it's Gregor. Are you supposed to humanize him, or is he no longer human now that he's this thing? And like, it's just really interesting. It's really fun. So anyway, so I was thinking about it. And so a common interpretation is that Gregor's turned into a cockroach. The creature itself is not described. Kafka forbade people from creating images. He did not want you to look at the thing. He wanted you to like decide for yourself as you were reading it, which I think is really fucking cool. But I was thinking a lot about that and the imagery of being a cockroach. And as we know, in a lot of these shows, sometimes the allegory, I guess, like, is not that deep, and sometimes it is. And I was thinking about like a cockroach, and I was like, what's a cockroach do? And a cockroach can survive like nuclear fallout. It's always like the thing or the joke, you know, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, is this some sort of like, hey, Sabrina's going to be able to withstand everything? Or is this taking the method of Metamorphosis, which is that at the end, Gregor dies. Because so quick summary. And I did a quick reread, but I might be wrong. So if I am wrong and you have read Metamorphosis and you go, oh my God, Emily, you are so wrong, please tell me. I don't love being wrong, you know? So I would like to be corrected. Is the correct way to phrase that. I don't like being wrong. You know what?
So watch yourself when you're coming into the comments.
No. What I'm saying is please fix me.
Yeah.
Just in general. And if any of you are therapists, no.
Yeah, sound off in the comments.
So Gregor wakes up, he's a bug. And then he's like, there's a lot of internal things, and he's thinking about his boss or whatever. And his boss comes and is like, how dare you not show up for work, basically. And it's like, oh God, ew, he's a bug. And then his whole family is like, ew, he's a bug. And Gregor was the only one working because his father had them in debt, gambling, bank. I don't freaking remember. But so he was working. So now he can't work. So now his parents and his sister have to work, but they're like, ew, he's so gross and he's a bug. And like at one point his dad throws an apple at him and it gets stuck in him. Like, it's just like he gets hurt a lot. It's like really sad. It is sad. And so there's like versions of it where it's like people are like, is he still himself the whole time, or is he like this creature now? And does that creature deserve love and respect? And there's lots to it like that. And I feel like you could really play with the idea of like, if there's two Sabrinas, are they both equally? And like, if this is a Sabrina that was picked to get sent away, like, is this the unloved Sabrina? And but I feel like that might be digging a little deeper than was intended. I'm not certain. But so at the very end, basically, because his sister goes to work, first his sister and his mom kind of try to help him, but like also his mom is like she basically sees him like he wants to hold on to things from his human life, and so he hides under the couch a lot when they come into his room, and then he like holds onto this picture of this woman in a fur coat, and his mom like passes out at seeing him, whatever. It's sad. And so they all get very upset and weird. They move people in at one point, but they don't tell him about the cockroach or the creature, whatever he is, vermin. And then the people see him, and then they leave and they don't pay. And so eventually like the sister is just like, this is ridiculous. I'm tired of taking care of him. I don't want to take care of him anymore. He's not him. He's just like this burden, or, whatever. And so he crawls back to his room and starves to death before morning.
Really sad.
It's so sad. It's so sad. So I'm like, is this telling us like that is like an emotional state of this Sabrina? Because this Sabrina has been sent into a world that is not her world anymore. Like she's woken up in a world that is not her world, and she's in her body, but that's the only thing that's still the same. Like everything else is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And these versions, like, and all the people she loves and cares about in this version die. And so it's very interesting. So I was like, I wonder if this was really intentional or not.
Yeah. No, I think it, and
like,
whether it's intentional or not, I think it works. Right?
Was she dehumanized by being sent here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was this choice to send her here a choice of saying, well, she's not a person anymore? And is that why the show did not give us any real scenes of her being Queen of Hell? Like, we got a couple, but, not a lot.
Yeah, she is not Sabrina.
She's not Sabrina. She's not Sabrina Spellman. She's not Sabrina.
Hmm.
Sabrina Morningstar is not Sabrina Spellman, is what the show is telling us.
Yeah. Or even, yeah, exactly. She's not she's not the Sabrina.
Yes.
If we had to choose one,
she's not the Sabrina.
And I think the thing about hiding under the bed, that also relates to
it's hiding under the couch, I think. And but bed in the show.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, of how this universe thinks of. I mean, they use that to talk about stand-ins essentially as related to vermin, which is fun showbiz thing. But also, I think a lot of those people are the people that would be headstrong or fight back.
Yes, correct.
They're treated as vermin and cast aside, and then in Nick's case, it's what is that person who's scrappy to try and win approval back?
Yes, but then it kind of all gets thrown away when they're all technically servants of the void.
So Nick isn't.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
I didn't think so.
She accuses him of being one because he killed everybody.
But I guess I read it differently. So okay, let me back that up.
Does he not confirm it?
I think he just keeps going, I'm Harvey. I don't need it. We'll double check that.
I wrote Nick is a servant of the void. Now, does that mean that it said it? No, that means that's what I interpreted.
No.
Am I wrong?
You could be right that she had said that.
I could be wrong.
So.
And I would allow that because I'm great at being wrong.
No.
A little callback.
Yeah, that's a little comedy for you.
I'm working on my type 5.
Exactly. No, it could be. You could be right there.
I could also it could not say it. I could be misinterpreting. I could have just decided.
Oh, I skipped it.
The other reason is that he's not like acting he's not acting like bad boy Nick. So I was like, this can't be real Nick. Like, this isn't a real version of Nick. Whereas the aunties are acting
the
like
summary
themselves.
also says that he revealed himself as a servant of the void. So there you go.
Which makes sense because he wasn't on the original show.
There you go. That's good.
I think.
But then the aunts from the original show are servants of the void.
Yeah, I'm talking about the. Yeah. Yeah, but that's But the character didn't exist.
Yeah.
He doesn't exist in that reality. But he does. Okay, so that was my Kafka deep thoughts for you.
I love that.
Nick, I'm Harvey. I'm your only boyfriend. Creepy.
Hey, he does it so good.
He does it really good. Yeah.
I think he gets a really fun scene of being like the the serial killer, the
Yeah.
serial killer character at the end where he has Ambrose's goggles on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is grody. So
It's really gross. The morgue is gross. Like, that is gross stuff.
oh, this whole thing is gross. This episode is so freaky. One of the details I love is that everyone's eating tuna. I don't love the fact that the tuna's not tuna, but tuna and milk because it's Salem's reality.
Like, they don't hide it. Like,
and
they
that
really
Salem
point to
is
it.
still a cat in this reality.
Yep.
Also, what I think is kind of fun is so Kieran Shipka is allergic to cats, and that's why there's not a lot of scenes, from what I remember about reading, there's not a lot of scenes of her holding Salem, the cat, on the main, on our show, like as we've been watching. But so because this is all the puppet, she's got the cat everywhere. I think it's so fun.
It's really fun.
It is fun. It's also funny because I remember in the sitcom there were live action cats and then there were puppet cats, and like it switched between the two, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it would be like Salem being like, I'm out of here. Cut to a real cat jumping off something and running away.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like when Salem's mouthing off, it's exactly like on
puppet.
this. Yeah.
Well, the puppet on the show I feel like was less freaky.
Yeah, I wonder. I held back from
Is that
saying
90
anything.
vision?
Yes.
Is that just like because that's how television was?
Yeah, I held back from saying anything because I was like, I feel like it was better on that show, but also it has been 30 years. So.
Yeah, maybe not. So the other thing I want to talk about that I think was like a little bit confusing with the endless and the void. Do they not all know each other?
Yeah, I thought they all worked together.
Yeah, so it seems like the endless kind of like says that. It's like, well, we've always coexisted. Like but I'm over here doing my thing. It's like, well, the void is coming now because Sabrina's there, but wasn't the void it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the void always existed, but that now the Eldritch Terrors are bringing the void to the Earth realm.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like, I feel like they have done this to other realms.
Yeah. So
they're playing by their playbook. All right, you go first, then me go first, then I go first.
Yeah, but how did the void get into the endless to begin with? To have servants of the void? How can you have servants of the void inside the endless?
It is,
and the endless not know.
Yeah, it is strange that it is strange.
And if Salem controls everything in the endless, why doesn't Salem just ride out the void?
Yeah. Because it seems like it can work on the servants.
Yeah. It doesn't quite work for me.
Yeah, why the subterfuge?
Yeah, I'm not certain about this. And it's just everyone's coming after Sabrina all the time for there being an extra Sabrina. I don't know, man. So it kind of confuses me. Also, why save the endless? I guess to help you get to the mirror so you have no other choice.
I guess so. Endless seem to be like, maybe also if you have an Eldritch Terror on your side, that's a powerful friend.
Yeah, but is the Eldritch Terror ever going to be loyal to you? She's the queen of hell. She should know that this is just going to... It's her father's voice in the cat.
Yeah, she's willing to open up her heart. She's willing to give them another chance.
Other things I love is Caliban being head of construction because he doesn't actually exist in this reality either. It's great. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like, where are you going to put these characters?
Oh, totally, yeah.
I'm trying to think like if there's anything else that like really, because I think that's a fun episode, but like it didn't, besides the Kafka stuff, it didn't give me a lot to chew on.
No, it's very showbiz referential, kind of joking about the fakeness of the show of like, oh yeah, my house is just like it's right next to yours when Harvey's like
20
come on
feet
over.
away.
Yeah, exactly. And
or then when Wardwell's sleeping on the couch and Sabrina's like, well, why isn't she in her bedroom? And he's like, they never built it.
Right. Yeah. So getting very meta and fun about like the show that we're in, and then also just sitcoms in general of relating them, like we said, to this endless chore, this endless trap of being stuck in it. Hey, this is all. I'm also just realizing now that this is kind of pulling from the show The Prisoner, because that was, I believe the whole like reasoning behind that show is like him being stuck on this spy show that he couldn't get out of. So like that feeling of being trapped.
I am not a number. I'm a man.
Yes, that one.
My only issue with that show was the ending.
Yeah,
It didn't have a good ending to me.
it doesn't like wrap up.
It's unsatisfactory. It needs improvement.
That is a tremendous show. It is very abstract. And in a very different way than like we think now of like kind of like psychedelic, because it's like coming out in like late 60s, early 70s. So very different vibes there, which is...
Yeah, at one point they're like playing music on a car going down the freeway or something, aren't they? What's like at the end, aren't they like jumping onto like...
Oh, at the end of the show?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
The end of the show gets
I
weird.
just remember where it's the big bureaucracy act out. And they're like yelling about like knights and kings and all that. Yeah, I highly recommend it.
All right.
There's some really, really good stuff. There's this is it Hammer and Anvil, where because they're all it's a man he's like a secret agent that gets like trapped on this island and he doesn't know why. And they only refer to people as numbers. He's no longer has a name. He's number 6. And then each week it's like different new like mind experiments and things like that. So it'll like change drastically of like what's happening. So they do some really ambitious stuff. And the person in charge
changes like every episode.
Yes, number 2. Yeah. So it's good. There's the Hammer and Anvil one that I'm talking about is him challenging number 2 that like he is the hammer and number 2 is the anvil, and like ways of like, wait, is number 6 planning something against him? What is he doing? So it's all about number 2's paranoia. It changes it's really cool. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, being trapped on a show and kind of the showbiz thing. So that was that wrap up there and that digression.
Well, do you have any other thoughts then?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, it's a fun episode. I
liked it more than I remembered.
Yeah, I will say my last thought on it is I feel like this is this is a good episode that's emblematic of the season, because the season's very much an anthology of like we're using the Eldritch Terrors for a show each week, and I feel like this latter half of the season is on a run where those individual anthology stories are great, and I think the beginning of the season they were not so great. Which is also my problem with anthologies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed it more than I remembered. I thought I hated this episode last time because I remember I was really excited about the crossover, and then I was like disappointed by what it was. And this time, maybe because I already had a set expectation, I was like, oh, this is fun. Mm-hmm. This is a good time.
Yeah, I like making the original sitcom like evil.
Yeah, I think it would have been interesting if they'd done it. It's interesting to have done this show's set with none of the original. It's just the original sitcom actors.
Yeah.
And it's just the 2 ants. Like, I think it would have been interesting to see like those 2 colliding. I don't know.
I don't know, say the other Harvey or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. But they just use our cast here to kind of like do that exercise.
It would also be a lot. Like, I'm not saying like that'd be a huge undertaking to like do for like this episode. And we only have one left.
Yes, we do. It's going to be a long one.
Movie length.
Yeah, I believe it's an hour and a half.
I'm pretty sure it's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I kind of wish it was broken into 2.
Yeah, and especially because it's Netflix, you're like, it really wouldn't have been all that bad.
Yeah,
this doesn't say the runtime, but I believe it's an hour and a half.
Yeah, they could have broken it into 2. From what I remember, like a lot happens. It's like a lot. So maybe we'll have to see if we break it into 2.
Yeah, we will.
We'll see how we feel when we hit like the halfway mark, and then we can either, just because I don't want to spend an hour on a summary for a podcast episode. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it depends on how much is, not how long it is, but how much is happening. Because I remember a lot happening.
Yes.
But I mean, it's a long thing, so it makes sense. So after that, what are we doing?
We are doing Katie Keene.
Okay.
So we usually take a break. So maybe just because of life and everything, we'll finish up next week, potentially. TBD. We'll let you know. And then after we finish up Sabrina, probably take a week break and then pick back up on Katie Keene.
There we go.
Which is not for streaming anywhere, but you can purchase it on demand.
Are we going to do 1 or 2 episodes a week?
We can talk about that.
We'll decide when we get closer.
Yeah, we always kick off the seasons anyway with just a one episode, so maybe
we'll do one and see how we feel.
Yeah, because it's 13 episodes, so if we decided to do 2 after that, then we can do 2 all the way to the end.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, don't eat tuna.
Yeah, but you can find this podcast on YouTube to see the video version, see our smiling faces at dead_ends. You can also find this podcast on all your audio podcast platforms of choice at Dead Ends. You can talk to us in the comments. We love talking to people there. Or you can send us the email at deadendspcast@gmail.com. And if you have any thoughts on the end of Sabrina, let us know. Write in. And maybe also that's another way as we wrap up the series, if you do have questions and things, we can maybe dedicate an episode to that.
Oh, yeah.
So
I really do love this show. I think it's very fun, despite how much we complain.
I mean, it's not a perfect show, but we like the show.
Nothing is perfect.
Exactly. Criticism can also is also an act of love.
And that's what I tell you every morning.
That's right. Get it together.
This is an act of love. Go change. I kidding.
Podcast art is done by Senki R, and you can find a list to their portfolio, a link to their portfolio, and all the podcast episode descriptions. I mentioned the podcast. Oh, you can find us on Blue Sky at Dead-Ends, and you can also find us on Instagram at deadendspcast.
Well,
not today, Satan.
Not today.
You had the week off. Well, except for your actor.
Yeah, no, Satan had to work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the whole time it was Satan.
Oh,
no,
Salem kind of like was her father.
Also, let us know if you have any predictions for what's going to happen in the finale.
Oh, yeah.
Leave that in the comments.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah. All right. We love you.
Love you.
And stay safe and don't go into other dimensions.
No.
You just don't know how it's going to work. I don't really like canned meats, if I can avoid it.
No.
Mystery meat is a little scary. And don't read the news.
Wait. Well, yeah. You may be searching for other dimensions, but maybe see if you can figure out if those other dimensions are better. You just don't know.
That's true.
It seems bad here. And you know what? Maybe keep your
options open.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. It's hard.
Yeah.
All right. Not today, Satan.
Not today.